Okay, so let's talk about it. Should you go for the kiss on the first date or should you ask for consent? Let me know what you think. Now, if you're at that crossroad as a man, pausing, second guessing, unsure, there's a high chance you're socially awkward, you're on the wrong date, you don't know how to listen. That's not an insult. It's an invitation to grow because this conversation isn't just about a kiss, it's about leadership, confidence, timing, and risk. Here's the first issue. Too many people are going on dates with people they should still be betting. Why are you out spending $150 to $200 on a romantic evening when you don't even know if you like this person? That's why you're confused at the end of the night. That's why you're unsure whether to go for the kiss. You're on the wrong date. Why are you putting yourself in that position? Why can't you vet before you date? Do you even know how to vet? Do you know what that means? See, when you date someone you already genuinely like, you're not waiting for signs. You're reading them. Now, as a man, if you want to show up as a leader, especially romantically in a romantic setting, you need to demonstrate 5 things. Number 1, decisiveness. Stop second guessing yourself. 2, certainty. Be sure of who you are and what you want. 3, self-awareness. You need to know how you come off. 4, willingness to take a risk. That's part of being protective. 5, confidence. Always sexy, always timeless. If you can't take a risk, how can she trust you to protect her in real life? Romantic leadership is felt, not announced. Okay? And that includes how you handle the kiss. So, should you go for the kiss? Yes, if the energy is there. You're not tongue kissing a stranger. You're not rubbing thighs at the table. You're leaning in for a peck, a moment. If she's into you, she's probably hoping for it. If she's not into you, you should have ended that date long before dessert. Now, let's pause here. Here's why. I want to acknowledge something important. I don't blame the women who emphasize consent. Many of them they've had bad experiences, awkward dates, creepy advances, or moments where men completely miss the vibe. So of course, they want a cookie cutter, pragmatic solution, just ask for consent. It solves all the problems. I get that, truly I do. But here's the problem. That approach creates a new kind of awkward, where men are asking for kisses like they're ordering coffee. And that kills the spark. That seals the deal you didn't want anyway. Romantic moments are not transactions. They're feel-based, not rule-based. Now, I brought all this up recently on the panel, Uncle Bendo's show. Shout out to Uncle Bendo. We had some ladies panelists, and naturally some of them were disappointed in my take. I guess it's Gen Z over wokeness, all that kind of stuff. That's okay. I'm here to teach, not just to make people feel good, but there was this one woman, seasoned, confident, fine, who said something that stopped the room in the chat. She said, what I remember from 27 years ago is that I was looking forward to a kiss from my husband. I wasn't looking forward to consent. Shout out to Yinka Pepe. She wanted a moment. She wanted a man who could read her energy, not ask for permission like a middle schooler. And I'll share this too. I've been married for 18 years. I know we're supposed to be out of the market, but that's your problems. You see? On our first date, I went for the kiss. You received it and we're still here, strong. I didn't go in blindly. I wasn't reckless. I was aware, present, confident. And the moment invited it because I didn't need a yes or a no. I already knew where we were. Now listen, you should absolutely listen to women, but not just to follow them. You listen so you can lead better. It's not about parroting their talking points. Actually, it is about active listening, catching the things they don't say out loud. If you're the kind of man who needs everything spelled out for you, or you're asking women to be logical, you're not ready to lead romantically. Women speak in rhythm. Your job is to hear the melody beneath the words. Let's address something else. Men today are out here on the internet asking for submission. That's the same thing as asking for a kiss. It's the same thing as asking for permission to lead. It's the same issues. It's the awkwardness. If you have to ask for it, you haven't earned it. If a woman isn't submitting, something that's so natural, it's not about modern women. It's that you haven't built enough trust. enough clarity, enough consistency. And yes, let's call this out in African culture too. Some men talk about polygamy or tradition, but the truth is they're hiding behind culture to avoid taking ownership. If you want multiple women, say it with your full chest. Be transparent. Should you want to be transparent. Just tell the whole world what you want to do. Be honest. But don't cheat and then call it cultural. That's betrayal. And betrayal removes consent across the board, emotionally, physically, mentally. Now, let's talk about fear. The longer you stay single, the longer you date without results, the more you fall into paralysis by analysis. You overthink, you hesitate, you fold under pressure, and that fear follows you into marriage. Now your wife is closed off one night and you don't know whether to lean in or lean out. You now start shouting African culture. You go silent, you doubt yourself. That's the same fear from those awkward first dates. Sometimes you've got to say, no, baby, I got you. That's leadership. That's presence. So here's the bottom line. Yes, you should go for the kiss when the moment is right. Not because you are entitled to it, because you've shown 1, decisiveness, 2, confidence, self-awareness, willingness to take risk, protection, security, emotional timing. If the energy is off, pull back, be respectful. But if you've read the vibe, if she's there with you, don't kill the moment with a stupid question. Lead it. Because this isn't about kissing. It's about the kind of man you're becoming. One who listens, one who leads, one who respects but doesn't retreat. One who knows the difference between taking a risk and crossing a line. And if you can't feel that difference, you're not ready to lead romantically. And if you don't get it,
you get it?
Okay.
If you don't get it, forget about it.
Forget about it. But wait, okay. wait. I know we're in such a very hypersensitive generation. Everything needs to be spelled out, written down, ask all the questions, ask for the credit card, ask for their credit scores, right? Somebody the other day on TikTok literally said, go and find out at the government agency what they do for a living. Then you'll be able to see what their salary is. If you have to do all that to find out what somebody's salary is, there you go. Social awkwardness. It's no wonder you're struggling. It's no wonder. That's where the struggle comes from. So here you have it. So how do we, anything in life that's worthwhile, it's not easy. I understand it might be difficult. You're in a very, very sensitive place where people get in trouble. Maybe somebody, I told you the other day, somebody was talking about, oh, I'm a hugger. I was like, if you tend to hug random strangers or everybody, you're just a hugger. And yes, it might come off awkward. That's not what we're talking about here. You're actually on a romantic date. You're actually in a marriage with the person. It's not a transaction. So you can't expect everything to be spelled out. And you men that keep asking women to become logical, you don't say it in those exact words, but that's essentially what you're asking for when you're sitting on the internet dragging women. You're creating masculine women. Blame yourself for it.